Hey guys, this is Luthais, and as promised, this is the second part of my Ultimate Survival Guide. Now guys, I presume you've watched the first part, so when you're watching this video you already know the whole map, you've explored empty servers, you've become familiar with the whole map, all the great loot spawn locations, and this is basically the PvP part of the Ultimate Survival Guide. Here we're going to learn how to survive in a full server and what things you need to focus on. Alright? Now, I'm a fresh spawn on UK2 with a full server of 50 people, and as you can hear there's a person close to me, so I'm just looking where I can get out and making sure he doesn't get close to me. The great thing about a full server is most of the people doesn't have great loot, but there will be quite a like 10 or 20% of the server which will have great loot, and those are the guys that you actually have to watch out for. But most of the people are just as scared as you of dying. Now, the first thing that you have to focus on when you're on a PvP server is a backpack, okay? Because you're not going to spend a lot of time in towns, and you're going to need to get food and cool drink and stuff like that, things to survive. But that is difficult when you can't actually spend a lot of time in town. So what I'm doing now is I'm focusing on the outskirts of Sultan, getting food, and like I've told you in the first survival guide, I have to focus on rags now. Because if you're lucky enough to get a backpack, that's fantastic, but if you don't get a backpack, you're going to have to get those 5 rags. Basically 4 rags you're going to use to make a rope, and then the other rag you're going to use in combination to make the horseshoe pack. And those 5 slots are going to mean a lot. As you can see there, I typed in the server, or the population, it's full, and it's on UK2, just to prove to you guys that I'm on a full server. Now, what I'm basically doing here is just moving constantly and trying to get the rags. There was a lot of places where there were no available rags, which was quite a shock to me. But luckily I got a rope, and then I got 1 rag. So I was very lucky in that aspect, that I got a rope and 1 rag, which makes it very easy for me to make the horseshoe pack. If I didn't get a rope, then I would have had to get 4 more rags, to craft the rope. So I've got the horseshoe pack, I've got more space. So what I'm basically looking for now, the first thing that you need to focus on when you've crafted your horseshoe pack is a gun. Any kind of gun. Now, any gun will be sufficient, okay? I got the nails there. Of course, we know we need the nails to craft our plot sign. There was a toolbox there, but luckily again I got the nails right off the bat. But again, you'll see I'm just checking for stow pack or rugged pack locations, and of course every house I go into I'm going to look for the material that I need, because as soon as you've built your rugged pack you're going to need a hatchet, okay, or you're going to need to craft a hatchet. But for now I'm just moving along the outskirts. Never go into the center of a town, guys, because you can get basically surrounded, or there's a lot of streets that you have to cross which will give your position away. The good thing about being on the outskirts of a town is that you can still loot the houses, but most of the time there's a back exit or a front exit, and if you don't get shot to death immediately, then of course you can still run into the forest, and there's a lot of cover there for you to hide away in bushes, or run between trees and stuff like that. So again, just focusing on the food and the rags again, because to build to craft a hatchet, you're gonna need a rope again. So I need to get 4 more rags to craft the rope, and then I'm gonna need 1 pile of sticks and 1 rocks. But for now I'm just focusing on the rags. And again, my space that I have with the horseshoe pack isn't great, so I'd like to keep most of it for food and stuff like that. Luckily, I found a Carlington in one of the houses. It's a very nice weapon for long distance, but it's quite terrible close range because you need to get the headshot in immediately. And that's not easy on a moving target, or when you get real nervous, that's normally not the first thing you focus on. But it's still a form of protection and quite positive. Here I hear a person coming into the house, and being nervous, I put down the propane tank basically to scare the guy off. Unfortunately, I threw it much too close, so blowing up the propane tank now will basically kill me instead of killing him. So, yeah, just got some cover, made sure he's not advancing immediately. And I'm not sure where he is at the moment, but I'm thinking he's at the bottom floor. So what I'm going to do now is just put down the propane tank as a warning. And yeah, throwing down the propane tank still made a noise, guys. So it's important to make a noise and just to let him know you're there and stop moving so that he knows you're ready for him. Okay? And again, if he's a bandit, he's going to come after you, but most of the time, about 60% of the players are going to be careful, and they're not just going to rush you when they think you've got a gun. Now, right here, I'm just looking at the propane, seeing if he comes up, and again, just something to scare him off, something that he has to think about. But, yeah, I'm getting myself in quite a sticky situation. You see people running around and guns blazing. So, as soon as you feel your spot is populated, you hear gunshots, you hear action, your first thought must be an exit strategy, okay? In the beginning, you never want to be where most of the players are for two specific reasons. Reason one is most of the players would have looted that location, so you're not really going to find loot. And of course, the second reason is you don't really have the equipment to defend yourself, so it's better to just get out of there. I left the propane tank there because it's 13 kilograms, takes up way too much weight, and now I'm just going to try to get out of here. The lean keys were glitching out a bit, so as soon as I saw a gap, I was just going to take it. And again, like you see, I'm on the outskirts. I can go into the forest immediately and get some cover. Alright? And never run in a straight line. If anyone's aiming at you, you want to be moving left and right as much as possible to make a clear headshot on you, as difficult as possible. If he shoots you, it's fine. You're going to be able to take 2 or 3 shots before you're dead. But make sure it's not too easy for him to get the headshot on you. And of course, because I'm in Sultan, my first priority is to get to the cave that you all know I love. And of course, with the new update, caves are going to be a brilliant idea because it's going to protect you totally from the radiation storms and the nuclear winter storms. So just taking my usual route. Again, equip your gun immediately after you've been in water, and I'm making sure no one's following me. Now, the two things I'm focusing on in the cave is to get healing mushrooms, because I know a healing mushroom can cure any kind of poison that I get affected with. And the other one is the anti-rad mushrooms, okay? The radiation mushrooms, that takes away radiation. So I'm going to gather the healing, basically the healing mushrooms and the radiation mushrooms, which is basically your orange, reddish mushrooms and your blue mushrooms, because you can see right in front of me is a healing mushroom, and I already picked up a radiation mushroom. The reason why it's good to have that in the beginning, guys, is there's a lot of rotten food lying around. And with you trying to survive and focusing on various things, there are going to be times when you eat a rotten apple or rotten potatoes or something like that because you're in a rush, you go into a kitchen and you just quickly scroll down on the mouse wheel and you consume it. But what you didn't know is that it was rotten and you're sitting with a poison problem and your vision is blurred, and that's just a pain in the ass, alright? It's happened a few times to me. So that's why I want to have the healing mushrooms with me. And because I'm going to explore caves, if I get any radiation or I'm forced to drink water right out of the river or out of a toilet or something, then of course I've got the blue mushrooms to heal the radiation, okay, to get rid of the radiation that I've built up. So that's the two focuses that you do in a cave. To build up to get at least up to 5 healing mushrooms and not more than 5 radiation mushrooms, so that you guys know you're covered. Again, I'm struggling with space, so what I did is I took my rubbing alcohol and my bandage. I made a better bandage just to clear up some space, because with the amount of food I've picked up so far, the space is already becoming a problem. Yeah, I'm picking up a gun. Unfortunately, no ammo. And yeah, ammo, guys, is really, really important in the beginning. Alright? Never ever waste it on a mutant. Always use your melee weapons. For a mutant, if you can't find a melee weapon, again, that's what the hatchet is for, that we're going to craft. Okay? To defend yourself. When a mutant chases you, make sure you get into a forest area and just take him on, yeah, without anyone being able to kill you. Here we're exiting the cave, and I know Sultan is populated, so you will see when I go up now, I'm going to change my route. I'm not going to go to Sultan because I know there are a few players there. So I'm going to Woodhaven side, just to check it out, okay? That doesn't mean no one's at Woodhaven, but I want to loot at places where I know there's not a lot of players, because then I know there will be loot for me to find, and of course the chances of dying is much less. You're gonna encounter a lot of bases on full servers, okay? Never stand still looking at the base for too long, and always run around the bases. If it's a really nice looking base, just zoom in on it, make sure you don't see any movement, and keep going. But again, you'll see I spend a lot of time in the forest, okay, because that is the safest place. Doesn't matter if a clan spots me, I will still be able to get away. I can go run into a bush, I can zigzag the trees, I can run into the river and swim away. And remember, when you dive into a river to get away, always make sure you swim with the stream, not against the stream. If they follow you, it will take them some time to figure out which way you swam, which way you went. But of course, when you swim with the current, you're always going to get downriver much quicker. Now here, I was looking for rocks and sticks, but for some reason, not all servers are the same. On some servers, a lot of things don't work, like you won't be able to pick berries. Like, for instance, on this server, I couldn't pick berries. Some servers, the apple trees don't work. Some servers, there's a lot of trees that you can't get, or bushes that you can't get sticks from, which limits you in a way, but that just means you're going to have to explore a bit more to get to the materials you need. Okay, I've definitely seen variations, and that's one thing that I feel the developers must just focus on, is to, as soon as you see rocks, they must make sure there's rocks there, you know, and every bush that looks like a bush that has sticks in it must have sticks. Basically, I've been exploring for quite some time. It's getting dark, and I really love the look of that base on UK2. Really nice base, guys. I will be making a video on, you know, my base. Like, here's the the berries, and I can't pick them, but that's fine. So yes, I will be making a total guide on, you know, building your base, giving you tips on building a base, and just various things that you can explore with. But again, don't worry about the towns at the beginning. Stay on the outskirts. Make sure everything's quiet like it is now at the moment, and focus on your chat, guys. The more chat you get in the more you see people chatting in the chat box, the more you know that there are a lot of people around you, and that is also a warning signal. Okay, the more people that you're seeing on the chat means that you have got players in your vicinity. Okay, they might not be close to you, but if you see a lot of chat from a lot of different people, then you know you're in a danger zone and it's time to get out of there and explore different areas. Now, what I'm basically doing now is I'm looking for a spot where I can put down a plot sign. Okay, I still need a few items, but that is my focus now, is to get down that plot sign and get myself a small crate and a large crate, so that it's basically my storage depot, a place where I can just go, put the great loot down, you know, that I found, and start building up my arsenal. So here you see, I'm getting the tree, and you need 2 lumber and the nails to build the plot sign. So we go to wood, we go to other. Okay, first the lumber, and another lumber. Okay, so we've got the nails and we've got the 2 lumber. So now we go to other, and there we go, plot sign. So these are basically the things that you're gonna need to focus on. As soon as you get the rags and the horseshoe pack, then you're going to need to get the hatchet or craft it. Now luckily, as you can see, I picked up a hatchet, okay, so I didn't need to focus on crafting one. But if you don't find a hatchet, you're gonna need 1 rock, 1 stick, and a rope, okay, to build that bad boy. So here comes the long part of the game. Okay, at night I love searching for my base at night, because not a lot of people travel around at night. They don't want to use their torches, and it's just a bit scarier to run around at night and, you know, have people seeing you. So yes, when it's dark, that's the time when I normally look for my base location, and of course when I build my base, when I sit there, you know, hacking away at the trees. And you will see that I've got an axe, and a hatchet is a great weapon, and of course you can get wood, but an axe is also a nice weapon, because every time you hit a tree you'll get wood. Okay, you won't have times when you hit the tree and you don't get wood. With the axe, every single shot gives you a wood log, which is great. So I've been searching everywhere, and I've come to a central spot, but I always look for a flat surface, as flat as can be. And what I'm doing now is I'm looking for a marker, something that I can see where I put down my plot sign. So there I see the little dam, the little pond there, and I can see above the pond is that tower, and to the right there's a base. Okay, so I'm basically just trying to figure out how to get back to my base, because on a full server you're not going to be able to always build a base, you know, close to Pinecrest or close to Brightmoor, or a location that's very easy to find. And remember guys, if it's easy for you to find, it's easy for other people to find as well. So although you might think, damn, my base is, you know, freaking far and it's going to take me long to get there, just remember, if you don't want to really travel there, no one else is really going to want to travel there. Okay, so the more effort it takes you to get to your base, the better, actually, because you're going to be safe. Now, I've put out my plot sign. It's in the center of the map. It's close to the aircraft crash site. It's close to a cave. It's close to shelter. And it's quite close to Hayward and Clyde Hill and everything. What I'm basically doing now is seeing if I can get a solid route. But with the snow, it's a bit difficult to see the roads clearly. But as soon as I figure out, okay, there's not a clear route for me to my base, don't put down a plot sign, and that's it, guys. What you need to do is your first focus after the plot sign is a platform. Because trust me, when you're looking for your base, it's going to be very difficult for you to find that plot sign. Especially if you hit the plot sign like I like doing. Then it's going to be very easy for you to lose, your base location or your plot sign. If you can't find your base, craft something and see where you can place it. That will normally tell you when you're in the vicinity of your base. Okay, you craft a certain item and then you just hold it in front of you, and it will be red if you're not close to your plot sign, and it will go green, when you're close. And then you can just basically play hot and cold to figure out where the center of your ground is that you've claimed. And if you don't find your plot sign, at least you'll know more or less where the center is and you can start building. So yes, as I told you, what I'm focusing on now is the platform, and that is going to just make it much easier for you to find it. As you can see now, it's very dark, and this is where things went a bit off board, because I just got a subscriber that wanted to play with me, and because I was making a video, I was a bit hesitant, but he told me he'll help me build the base, or help me with the base building. And yeah, guys, remember, I'm doing this for fun, alright? So I couldn't say no, point one. And yes, I love playing with subscribers. The timing was a bit bad because I'm trying to focus on everything that I need to do. But again, it was fun, and yeah, he helped me chop some wood. As you can see with the axe, you never miss. And what I like doing is just to put the small box underneath the platform, and I like putting the large crate underneath the platform. And later on, I'll show you guys some cool on a later video when I focus on base building. I'll show you guys a few tricks to make it difficult for people to get to your crates. But yes, crafting here. He's putting some stuff in the crates, wood that is chopped, and a few items that we're gonna leave here. And you'll hear that we hear a mutant right about now while he's chopping the tree. Okay, there you hear the mutant, and immediately I asked him to stand still and to make as little noise as possible. Now, we do know that mutants come after sound, okay? Because when you fire a gun, the whole freaking town comes to you. So whether they can hear you chopping things or making noise, I'm sure they do, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But in any case, when you hear a mutant, guys, try to make as little noise as possible, because I know when I walk, when I crouch really slowly, they don't hear me. But as soon as I start, if I fast crouch with shift or I start running, they hear me immediately. So again, try and lower the sound that you make or the noise that you make, and don't attract mutants unnecessarily. because we know that the base wasn't in the mutant's path immediately, so it was probably at the edge of his cycle that he did, and it's unnecessary for us to let him make noise or give away our location. Never mind mutants, guys. You don't want to make a lot of noise because of players, okay? You don't want to be chopping a tree for an hour, okay? You want to chop a tree. Basically, you and your friends want to gather as much wood as you can, put it in the crates, and then just build a bit, okay? You can't hit a tree for an half an hour or an hour because someone's going to hear you, and boy, are you a standing target when someone's hunting you down. Now, there's a few things that I wanted to do, but he really wanted us to build the base, and I thought to myself, look here, this is the ultimate survival guide. So after everything I've done so far, after you've built your base, you can go and loot the outskirts of every single location there is and try and build up your arsenal. Okay? What I basically thought is, I don't want to make this video an hour long again, so I'm going to go to the military checkpoints. Okay? And because I built my base so central, the top end of the main military checkpoint between Hayward and Brightmoor was very close to us. So I told him, look here, right down below is the main highway there, and on the other side is Clyde Hill, okay? But most of you that knows the map knows where this location is. When you've finished with the main checkpoint, then you come up the road here. Not a lot of people come here, and they don't stay here long, so it's a bit safer, you know. Going to the main checkpoint is a bit more dangerous. But basically, I said, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to cover him, and he must loot those 2 tents as quickly as possible, and then we must get out of here. Unfortunately, he wanted to loot this location in front of me, got a bit angry, and then told him to loot as quickly as possible. He said he's very new to the game, he can't really loot that quickly, and I almost got a heart attack because I know that you have to move all the time, okay? As soon as you stand still, you're close to death. So as soon as I saw he wasn't doing it as quickly as possible, I thought, stuff this, let me get to the second tent because we need to get out of here. You know, this is a prime location with a full server, we're gonna die, okay? So I started searching, not seeing a lot, and just as I'm done, you'll see now, basically, yes, I'm done, and then I hear someone. Put off my torch immediately. I don't know if his torch is on, so I'm a bit flustered at the moment. I'm sitting with a hunting rifle. I see him. He's got a duffel bag. He's got army clothing. He's fully geared, and I'm sitting with a hunting rifle. Now, yes, slow-mo here. He's running right up to me, guys. And yes, you guys can comment what you want, but in this situation, I'm shooting him in the chest. He's got the jacket on, but look here, guys. As soon as he shoots, he doesn't know where I am. Because I was in cover, as you guys will see, I shot him in the chest, and I tried to get my axe out as soon as possible. Now, in that situation, the gun that I had, okay, and yeah, on the subscriber that was with me died very quickly. The gun that I had was the most terrible gun I could have in that situation. All of you can rant now and say, Luthais, one headshot, you know, and you would have won. Yes, I've never told you guys that I'm the best PvP player, you know, or an awesome PvP player. I'm all about tactics. And yes, I'm still wondering about it, if I could have killed the guy with the headshot. But what I'm basically trying to tell you guys is, every time you die, learn from it. Okay? Now, I can tell you guys tactically what I could have done there. I was in the dark. I put off my torch. I made sure I was in the darkest spot possible, which was tactical. I shot him in the chest, and basically the mistake that I made there was to think I can pull out my axe. Okay? Because he was fully geared, presume he's got the best guns. Okay, if he's got the best clothing and backpack and everything, always know that 80% of the time he's gonna have an automatic rifle or something like that, or an AR. Now, tactically, what I should have done there is shot him and ran out into the other tent, and yes, basically used my subscriber as some cover. Um, hopefully my subscriber gets in one shot and I get in one shot and the guy's dead. Of course, the second thing I could have just done is try to get that headshot in, and think clearly. It's very important to stay calm, but because you guys know I'm all about immersion, it's very difficult for me to stay calm, especially with the subscriber and everything that was going on. And as you know, I was a bit flustered with the time he was taking to loot and the fact that he wasted a bit of time, but no problem with that. I had a lot of fun with him, but like I said, guys, just learn. Two things that I could have done: shoot the guy going to the other tent, and attack the guy again, with the subscriber. Other thing is attack him, run, get a nice hiding spot, see if I can get another shot on him, or just run, because I am basically outgunned there. Okay, if I had a pistol, he would have been dead, guys. I promise you, he would have been dead. I would have gotten in a few shots. Revolver, he still would have been alive, but if I had any AR with 10 bullets in it, he was dead. As you guys saw, I surprised him. Dark locations still have a big effect. Okay, a lot of the guys' screens, they can't set up the gamma. Not that I can set up my gamma, it's just my screen looks very nice, and I know with the monitor that my son's using, I can see quite clearly at night. Okay, but on other people's screens, it counts. Okay, dark spots still count. Don't think that because wherever you struggle to see yourself, that's where other people are going to struggle to see you. Okay, so go into third person mode and see how, if you can see yourself. I know at night when I hide underneath a tree, where I'm underneath the shadows, I can't see myself, and that's a perfect location to kill other players. But yes, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Leave a comment in the bottom. Troll me, tell me how I'm a bad shot. I'm fine with it. But in my third part of my survival guide, no one's gonna play with me. It's gonna be the ultimate combination to everything, and I'm gonna set myself certain targets at the beginning of the third part, and yes, those will be my goals. It's going to be very interesting, so please subscribe, hit that bell button. I promise you the third part is going to be the ultimate part of this 3-part ultimate survival guide. Cheers, guys. Luthais, love you. Have a great year. Cheers.